What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hoods Hooded Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. The Sunflower. We're not going to make this real quick, but I was in these YouTube streets and it just pisses me off every time I see people try to make the US government like they are the good guys. I don't give a damn if you red or blue. It's all about how you started, you know. So in my eyes, I used to be all involved. Oh, vote for this side, vote for that side. But when you realize that this government was always about war, you can see it in the blueprint right now. You can see how they talk right now. They always involve God in it. And people still just so blind, like they can't even see. But before I get into all of that, OCO to all my Niji, OCO to all my Amerindians, Indians, all the indigenous autochthonous people who are still being ignored every day with the truth. They want to ignore who we truly are, what they truly did, and act like what they're doing isn't savage as fuck. I was just watching Tabitha Speaks Politics, and she's talking about how the Pope, the current Pope, canceled his trip to come over here later this year because the US government said that they better support the war or, you know, all hell gonna break loose between the Catholic Church and the government, the US government. And people are like, I can't believe that they said that. I can't believe that the US government is threatening the Pope. Well, let me remind you guys, the Pope and the Vatican and the Crown is the reason why 90% of the earth is colonized. Those papal bulls came from the church, from the Vatican. Slavery, enslavement, trafficking, melanated copper tone indigenous people here on Turtle Island came from the Vatican, from the Pope. Just because you got a new Pope in there don't mean shit. What about all the old popes who was very racist? They was totally down with seizing land of non-white Christian men, princes, and what they said. This is the reason why Christopher Columbus brought his bird brain ass over here to colonize the unalive people so he could take it back to the kings that they call them, the queens that they call them. Ain't nothing but trafficking, savage ass bitches. So don't get so caught up in the current events and, oh, they threatened the Pope. Oh, they said the Pope better get down with war. The Pope is the cause of the war. Without the papal bulls, they wouldn't have had the mindset to think that they can go around and commit war. See, back in those days in the Catholic Church, what they talk about was war, unaliving people. The church was a cover up to go around the world and unalive people in the name of their Lord. That's why when you read those documents from Jamestown and Christopher Columbus and Amerigo Vespucci, they always mention God because God, their God, is the reason why they're able to do this anyways. Remember, their only mission is to break your spirit anyway, anyhow. So don't get so caught up because it's 500 years of enslavement and oppression and colonization that these are the good guys. One side is good, one side is bad. They both started from the same root. What they realize is if we divide and conquer, we can always conquer. If we keep knowledge from them, they will always be fit to be a slave. That's why it's so important for this government to keep signing stuff, keep writing stuff. So you can't keep up and you won't have time to go to the past, but we got time today. Please don't ever forget and think that you hear a word Pope associated with church that is good. It's not. Do your research. That's why I'm so pissed because people still so blind. They still think, oh, well, JD Vance and this person said it. Listen, all of them bad guys. Ever since I learned that they called their founding fathers George Washington and all of them other scumbags founding fathers and heroes, and I realized that George Washington was abusing, unaliving, and trafficking 300 plus people, that's what they call a hero. So don't you ever get up calling them and thinking that these are your heroes too, because no. These are enemies. They at war. They proving it right now. They talk about the American people. We aren't their people. Yeah, they call you a citizen because they call you chattel. I just also seen where now they didn't erase the requirement where you can't have a marijuana charge because guess who they was giving those charges to? Our people. Now they said, okay, we got to delete that so we can automatically draft them starting in December. They automatically drafted men at the age of 18. Are you going to automatically draft Barron? This is a call for a protest to Barron first. Don't nobody send their kid until Barron go first. Barren first. Type it in the comments. Barren first. Motherfucker. I'm so sick of this government lying, acting like what they did and what they have been doing and what they continue to do is cool and right. Just because you got military weapons and a defense system built off of my ancestors' back, you think you the big guy now? Y'all think y'all the big shot around the world now? It's sad, man. And then they talk about war like it's nothing. Oh, well, what are those people going to do over there? I talk to people. I'm just like, they really are delusional and they really think that war is the way and that they have a better way to do things. If that was the case, why all my people invented things in this country? You tell me this. Y'all lied about us coming off slave ships because it was millions of us already here. I'm talking about melanated, copper tone. I'm not talking about Siberians who was ran out of Russia. It was ran from Siberia during the Russian-Siberian War, right? They ran out of Siberia during the fur trade and they ran to Alaska. I'm not talking about the pretending the Native Americans. I'm talking about the true indigenous people who were already here. The Appalachian Indians, the Creeks, the Seminoles, the mound builders, the Choctaw, the Muskogean, Cherokee, you name it. What Patti LaBelle say? You name it. Whatever name you want, that was us. And now we just sit around and just look at the news and think these guys is good. And because we're going to vote for this side, it's going to be better. And this. Listen, guys. Listen, guys. If you think a 37-time felony, a government that has a 37-time felon war criminal is in your favor, you got to be smoking that stuff, man. They never going to be in your favor. I don't care what kind of blue, red suit they put on. Stop staying asleep, man. They're talking about drafting your kids in December automatically because you a citizen. Basically, you're a chattel under their system. And they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to give us no way out. Because you got to believe if they came tomorrow and said, hey, anybody who don't fuck with our government, you can sign this paper and get out. They already know all us gone. But they would never do that. They don't want to talk about that. They just want to act like they're fighting for America. America invented everything. You mean my ancestors invented everything that your ancestors are now selling and stealing? All of the royalties while we sit here and work going crazy. Bills going up, rent going up, people getting priced out homeless, groceries going up. Unless you a millionaire at this point, it's a wrap. Unless you're going to become one, it's a wrap. Because they don't want you to have no time to get back on TikTok and tell that truth. Supreme Rising, what's going on? They don't want you to have no time to go and read those historical documents. That's why I'm so happy that I took the time out to read the Papal Bulls. So when they get on here with these words like the Catholic Church and the Vatican, I know it was the Catholic motherfucking church is the reason why we was enslaved. The reason why they even thought that they could come in and enslave us, it was the Catholic Church. It was the Vatican. So don't get caught up in all these names. Just like I told y'all, they call their founding fathers presidents, but they was really people who committed war. They was really people who committed genocide, unalive people. They was down with doing things and lynching people. They're the ones who made the laws. They're the ones who acted the slave codes and the slave raiders and the slave patrols who now call the police, who do police brutality. Now they want to say, you know what, bump y'all, we finna automatically drop your kids into the war. We don't care what you said. They're just doing whatever they want. And everybody just sitting around like, okay. Fuck out of here, man. Every time I wake up and get on my timeline, it's nothing positive no more. I just want to block it all out. Then I run across something and somebody would be talking like these people are some kind of way the good guys and everybody's just talking while these people just doing what they want. But we go to work. We're not doing nothing. I see people now saying they're not going to pay their taxes, but what the hell that's going to do? They can still print how much money they want. They're doing $2 billion a day for war. Let that ring a bell. $2 billion a day just wasting it on war. Playing with your mind, distracting you from your true potential, your true goals, distracting the American Indians that need you from what we got going on, because first it was Epstein and they had to cover that up. Now it's war, a war that came out of nowhere. Don't be surprised by war. Don't be surprised by these people when they use words like in the name of the Lord, we're going to go and blow up a whole civilization. That's how they was talking about your ancestors. But now they talking about somebody else's ancestors because they got you under control. And if you ever get out of control, they got the defense system that they built off of our ancestors. And what do we have to show for it? Hope that they're going to do right. Hope that they're going to help the homeless. Hope that they're going to help the needy. Hope that they're going to use your tax dollars for good over here in this country. No, they're using your tax dollars to go and attack other people like they attack your ancestors. They're using their defense system to do and terrorize and bully the world. I'm so sick of it. Hope don't exist. Only action exists at this point, man. Only action. That's the only thing that's going to matter at this point. Action. And what else? Knowledge. Because if knowledge makes you unfit to be a slave, guess what? We got too many people who don't have knowledge, because I see a lot of people who slaves. You might not have no physical change, but you damn sure got the mental change. The mental change is just knocking you out. You sit around, you listen to Trump, you thank these good people, you on the American side, you're hoping, you get what I'm saying? They get you all wrapped up into their propaganda, man. Get wrapped back up into the knowledge. Get wrapped back up into the reality of who these thugs really are. Because they call people who was non-male white Christian princes thugs and savages because you wasn't down with their rules. But the moment you get down with their rules, their laws, their oppression, then you a citizen? The fuck out of here, man. Today is the perfect day for me to read that letter from 1606 when the Crown, the Vatican, and the so-called royal people sent their charters over here to seize land, and they talked about us as chattel, which means their possession before they ever seen your face. They talked about you as being enslaved and putting you on a plantation before they ever came over here. They already knew who you was. We just don't know who we are. We still don't know who we are. Some of us know who we are, but it's not enough of us who getting the knowledge. So many of us are scared. Oh no, I was just taught this. I just got to stick where I'm at. I can't learn nothing new. I got to stick with it. I got to stick with what the colonizer taught me. That's the worst thing you could ever do is believe what a colonizer taught you. Now, before I get off of here, because I do have to go in a second, the reason why this is so important, because it impacts our youth right now. Right now, it's a little kid, little YT kid being taught YT supremacy based on the history that they teach in high school. They being taught how to call a melanated person who got a defense system against the sun the N-word. They also being taught, oh, those people aren't better than you because they got melanin. And this is a total fucking lie. Do you know what melanin is? It's almost like magic. Because, baby, we connect to the sun. We glow like nobody else can. So don't you ever get it twisted. The reason why I continue, and yesterday I was like, this is my purpose. I got to continue talking because there's some parents out there don't know who they are. They letting their kids go to school to get bullied. They don't have a defense mechanism against the bullying because they actually think that they's a slave and they from Africa. When you actually own this land, you got little immigrant kids over here talking about they own the land and that they're better than you because they don't have melanin. Fuck out of here, man. Let's go back to the biology of it all. Without melanin, the less melanin you have, the more at risk you are for attacks from the sun's ultraviolet rays. So which one is more supreme? This is another example of thugs and colonizers trying to flip the script on your ass. They trying to claim all your inventions and say, America invented it. No, you mean the melanated people who you said you brought over here from Africa invented stuff? Fuck out of here. We was never brought from Africa. How we invented things that you using when we was supposed to be shackled on a boat. Fuck out of here, man. How we got the ability to learn all of a sudden a new language and all this when you prevented us from reading. You would never have to prevent somebody who from Africa off of a boat under the boat for months from reading if they don't even understand English, because you ain't gonna teach it to them. So why are you lying? The reason why you said don't read is because we already knew how to read. Think outside the box. So the only thing that they want to do, remember, is to break your spirit. Right now, This is breaking your spirit season. So you got to be totally undistracted during the breaking your spirit season. Why? Because they even breaking little kids' spirit. Yesterday it hurt my heart, and I posted it to my page. Just go to the page because I can't pull it up on the live. I'm not that advanced on YouTube yet. But go to my page to this post from yesterday, 11 hours ago, from Marlene Angela. This little cute little kid right here. Y'all see his face? Remember this face. When you think you're dealing with good guys, remember this little kid's face. He unalived himself. He took his own life because he lost the hope. He didn't know who he truly was. He was going to a colonized school system. I was bullied in school for being chocolate. Oh, please believe me, bullied like crazy. Bullied. Dang, why I'm so dark? Why do I didn't know why I had this dark skin that people hate so much, targeted so much. That's propaganda, baby. Propaganda. So 7-year-old Jeffrey from Texas was bullied every day at school and on the school bus. The kids call him ugly. They call him the N-word and made fun of him because his front teeth was missing. Something that's everybody's front teeth gonna be missing. That's a part of dentistry. You lose your baby teeth, the front teeth normally the first two to go. But you got these little bullying ass kids being taught white supremacy at home. They get to school and they taught it in school. The school even teaching it. So they got the double confirmation that they better. They see a little melanated kid. They already got their police officer skills being taught at a young age. They already know how to be racist. You know, they said Jeffrey came home and told his mother that he was tired. That's a sign of a broken spirited child, man. He was tired of having his spirit attacked every day just because of who he are, because of biology, because he lost his front teeth, because he got melanin. He told her about the bullying, but didn't want to say anything because the kids would tease him if his parents came to the school. So now he can't even rely on his parents. He can't tell them because the kids got that much power over his spirit that he feel like he can't even tell nobody. He got to suffer through this and have a broken spirit because it's also taught in school. The teachers even teach it. Yeah, you was, you know what I mean? It's a video going around Madison, Florida, the teacher in the high school calling the kids N-words. The teacher now. And you ain't got your kids homeschooled yet. You ain't went up to that school yet. You ain't asking them about bullying. You playing about your children. They breaking your child's spirit. They broke my spirit as a little kid, but I didn't have no hope. My mama was 6 feet under, and my dad was in prison from the people who grew up and became cops. And there's a melanated man. Let me go lock him up. Let me go lie on him. So I didn't have no defense system in school. All I had to do was cry, feel down and tired like him. Thankfully, I never got to the point where I did something like this, but he got so tired. It's sad, man. He also didn't want anyone else to get in trouble. He was such a kind heart, and that's where a lot of us are. We are Mary Indians, and we don't know it, but we have such kind hearts. And this is how colonization affects us anyways. We try to say, hey, you know what, we just want peace. We're going to sign a treaty, give you a little something. You can go on about your way. That wasn't good enough. They say, fuck them treaties. We finna take it all, and you still finna be oppressed. We just wanted to calm you down, right? It says, Jeffrey shot and unalived himself with a gun that was stored in the home. His mother filed a federal lawsuit against the school district and a teacher, alleging that relentless racial bullying and the school's failure to intervene contributed to her son's death. You think that they want to help your child when they're the ones who's teaching this? I think that's the issue. You think that the district care? I think that's the issue. They're the ones teaching their kids in the household how this go for the longest. She shares her son's story to bring awareness to the racial bullying challenges faced by Black students in educational environments. Remember that little face right there. They call him ugly, an N-word. So cute and handsome, gone, 7 years old, broken spirited. So no matter what age you are, don't let nobody break your spirit. Don't you let nobody break your spirit. You better know who you are. You better know what this melanin do. What it do? You better know how it protects you. And some people don't like it. If you see somebody who don't have a defense mechanism against the sun, they full of rage and anger. Because guess what happens? If you don't have melanin, your DNA gets denatured. You get mutations that can make you angry. So know who you're dealing with, guys. Don't let these people break your spirit at all. And then when they talk about the popes and what's going on and drafting people, remember these are all thugs. It's not the government. That's just a name. These are thugs, savages, the true demons. Okay? So don't let them get in that White House and draft your kids. Barron first, motherfucker. I'm out of here. Thank you, CB Kids, for stopping through. If you watch this on the replay, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit like, and, just have a positive vibe today. Don't let anything break your spirit, guys. Okay? And I'm out of here. Bye.